Hi there Pisces, thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for January and welcome to the new year. It's a new month which has quite a lot of focus for you in terms of your long-term aspirations. This is because of the role of planets located in the sign of Capricorn. And as the new year begins, you have the Sun there, you have Mercury there, and you have Pluto too. Mercury's going to jump out briefly and move into Aquarius on the 2nd, which is for you a more psychological sector. You may find yourself in the 5th becoming a bit anxious about a few things, and this is going to run on until the 10th, and then Mercury rewinds back into friendly Capricorn, friendly for you. But I do feel that when it comes to friendships, social activities, group dynamics, that this won't necessarily be a straightforward month, because obviously when Mercury retrogrades, all sorts of mix-ups and misunderstandings can occur. But I also like to see Mercury retrograde as being an opportunity to solve things that haven't been working very well. And if you haven't been very clear about what you want from your future, this is going to be a very profound month to help you to sort this out. Because Mercury is going to go on to connect with the deep energies of Pluto, the planet of transformation. And in the last half of the month, the two are going to be side by side, but also squaring into Uranus, an erratic influence which has been affecting your financial situation for some years now. Now, fortunately, this particular aspect is going to come to an end at the start of April this year, and that's something to celebrate truly. But if you have found yourself alternating between doing what you think is right for your principles and then feeling that you have to respond to more practical and financial constraints and expediency, and then changing your mind and going in a different direction, this choppiness can be a feature of this month too. You want to keep churning over what you should do until you get to the thing where you can find the perfect balance between feeling really at peace within yourself in terms of who you are, but also finding your way in the world in terms of those more material assets that we all need in order to survive. So that's the balance you're trying to strike as this new year unfolds. But there are other variables in the mix, because Saturn, the planet of structure, is now in a very ambitious part of your scope. The harder we work with Saturn, the more successful we get. But it also can break down old structures. So if you have been working in an environment that has worked well for some time, but it's not giving you much satisfaction, Saturn may ask you to review that this year, and the more idealistic side of your nature may be tested. And the good news, however, is that the Sun does forge a semi-sextile with Saturn at the start of this year, which can provide a backdrop. So if you can make some trades, you can accommodate a little bit of flexibility in your approach. You can make sure that you're getting enough money in to keep yourself in health, hearth and home, but at the same time embrace the more spiritual sometimes and the more idealistic side of your nature. Also, Venus is going to be in the same sign as Saturn, Sagittarius, as this year begins. And if you do have interviews this month, need to impress the right people, charm will get you everywhere. Just don't lay it on with a trowel, particularly at the start of week 2. If you do, you can actually come across as being utterly insincere and even a little bit manipulative. Be yourself, but at the same time, there's absolutely no doubt that good manners does open the door to possibilities. Remember that. Work hard at your relationships with people in positions of authority, but at the same time, don't sell out. It won't get you any greater progress. In fact, by the end of week 2, well, Venus is actually forging a brilliant angle to Uranus, and it's possible that a surprise opportunity can come up through an introduction by a friend who maybe points you in the direction of an opportunity which could really thrill you, and it could be just what you like to do, something really exciting and enlivening. But I think, if you like, the rogue planet for you as this new year begins is actually Mars, because Mars is going to be rocking its way into a very expansive part of your scope as soon as the 4th. This can make you hugely restless, and it can also see you not being very happy about any kind of restrictions. and it can give you a desire to travel, embracing higher education, or just move into something that's more mentally stimulated. If you're someone who loves outdoor pursuits, rugged stuff, anything to do with wild terrains, well, Mars in this area is wonderful. But it also blends with your co-ruler of Neptune from the 11th through to the 23rd. And you can also use this influence to meld in your natural creativity to change your reality and to alter your approach. So the variety, which is the spice of life, can come from your own vast vat of talent if you apply it. But it's all about whether you can still get the money in to keep yourself going if there is something you want to start anew. That's only a judgment that you can make. However, as the 11th comes round, we also have a new moon in Capricorn. Ordinarily, this would be wonderfully upbeat and positive for you because it's sociable, it's very much to do with connectivity to others. But this one also squares up with Uranus. So once more we get this challenge between what you'd really like and the reality of it, and the demands other people make upon you as well. So I think that's going to be quite a big part of what you're juggling with this month. And you can see with Mars's location, there may be times when you're ready to walk for the hills if it all seems to be closing in. But try to stay patient, try to keep the lines of communication open. You can be very passionate with Mercury combining with Pluto about your ideals, your ideas, but don't dominate. Other people have exactly the same right to an opinion as you. Remember that in the latter part of this month, and it will stop you getting into any disputes and spats that aren't really going to be very good for you at all. Once the Sun moves on the 21st, beg your pardon, you may find that you do want to step back a little bit and just reflect on what all this energy and activity really means. Especially on the back of the full moon of the 23rd. Watch your energy around then. It's not going to be great. Don't take on too many commitments in the latter part of January. But I do feel that it can be a month when you can still set the template for what you're trying to achieve. And ambition is going to be part of it. It's just fine-tuning it so it suits you in every way possible. And maybe the truth is, few of us really get everything we want, so there may be some trades to make. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.